Well, hello, everybody. We are live and it is hump day. I don't know. I feel like every day is a hump day. I
Yeah.
have Claude Silver on today. This is this is the second time we've gone live, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, so it's like we have a podcast together. So she was on the Leadership with Heart podcast, episode 55, and then we did it again, like the live right kind of in the beginning. And there were some posts that you had put out there, and I could see you along with everybody else in the world. We were all just struggling with the stuff that's going on right now. And I said something like, I really want to get her on the show because I think other people would like to hear how you're faring, how you're managing your mindset. Just the ups and downs of this whole process and how it affects every single one of us, right? So I don't know what's going on with in your life.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? I love the question um because I'm human just like everyone else. I'm definitely a positive person and I call myself an emotional optimist, but at the same time I'm dealing with Groundhog's Day just like everyone else. I have a little one here that's as I was just telling you is almost 18 months, and so dealing with being a constant mom and a constant worker and stuff like that. And taking care of, my job is really to take care of an entire culture of people, 800 people on a global level, and find ways to continue to connect with them and make sure that they have everything they need to connect, and make sure that how is their mental health going. So about, I would say this is week 5, and I would say probably around 2 weeks ago, not, it took me a while to actually start to pay attention to how I was doing. And a couple people had asked me, like, how are you doing? How are you taking care of yourself? And I was like, I'm not. And so I made a switch, and I'm doing a lot more to make sure that I'm exercising. I've started to meditate. I've been doing a
Mhm.
gratitude list, and I'm using the tools that are out there that we've been referring people to, but also that, people are just sharing in the ecosystem now.
It's so interesting because we think about with you, with your whole, like I said, the culture within Vayner, like having to manage that family and all the people that we have to make sure that their mental health or emotional well-being is intact. And it's amazing how we don't spend as much time on this. And even when I attempt to, and I do it well, like today, and then tomorrow I slip, and then the next day I do it well, right? And I think of this so much as just all of our journey. We're just on this path, and it's kind of like a roller coaster. I mean, some days are more, flat like this, and some days are just like, holy smokes, what's going on, or way downhill. And so that's how I felt. The Mostly, it's been better, like you said, these last 2 weeks or so, but that first couple weeks,
Mhm.
wow, I could not get out of my own way for the life of me. I was trying to write that book and I was like, my kids are here. I just, just totally nuts.
Yeah.
So,
And, yeah, and I think
uh,
like you were just saying, 4 kids, those are a lot of meals. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of homeschooling, and whatever it is, whether or not you have kids, you have pets, you want to have kids, you're trying to have kids, you've had to stop the process, whatever is happening in individuals' lives, it's real. And um and I, I think it's important for us to really just honor that we're all in this together, and we all are having our own unique experiences within it too.
oh, absolutely. You're seeing me because inside of this, they don't let you actually see comments. So you have to go actually into
Oh,
LinkedIn and see that.
oh, okay.
So hello, Bill Mathias joined us and
Great.
Zaya, Josie, Adam, Posner. So we got some people that are joining in now.
Friends.
So hello.
Hello. Hello.
I think everybody was pretty excited to hear from you because I think, again, and I think the further up we go, it's like, how is Michelle Obama taking this? You just could go further and further and further up, right? How everybody else do? You know what? We're all going through the same stuff. We all have to
Yeah.
stay put. And I've been seeing what's been really inspiring to me, and you're in New York, so I have to hear more about this, right? But what's been inspiring me is seeing pictures coming out of hospitals of nurses or doctors, and just like their resilience. And there was one video, it was so heartwarming, where there's a gal, I don't know if it was New York, but there's a gal who came out of her house, and like all the neighbors, I think she was a EMT, and they all just started applauding for
Yeah.
her. And I was like, oh. So
Yeah.
I see that and I'm just like, this is so bad. I love how we're all coming together, but I'm just curious to see,
Yeah.
since you're right there in New York City, how you feel like it's, everybody's impacted, or what the resiliency looks like there.
Well, you know what? We actually were able and quite fortunate to leave the city in the epicenter 5 weeks ago and head to the country. So I haven't been in the city. However, I am checking in with people all day long that are still in the city and have chosen to stay there, that haven't gone home to their parents, or
Wow.
just hunkered down there. So, and my brother and his family are there, and everyone is really, staying within a block radius when they do leave their house. Social isolation is happening. It has to happen. I think
Yeah.
that, we have very strong politicians in the state of New York, Cuomo, of course, and our mayor, and we're paying attention because New York is the epicenter. I think there is enormous amounts of anxiety on those streets, as much as we are incredibly grateful for all of the first responders and the people in the front line and the people that are at, bagging the groceries at Trader Joe's and everything like that. So, and it's very real. It's extremely real. So a lot of us that have left New York are making sure that we're keeping some of those restaurants afloat and sending, using Seamless and Grubhub to send food to our coworkers so that we can do our little part for the economy. It's a lot. It's
Yeah, it
real,
is.
very
It
real.
is. I get everywhere. It's the weirdest. I was saying something the other day where it's like I've been going to the post office now because I have a PO box. I've been going there, but usually now when it's closed. But a couple times, or it was one time in particular, I went and there were all these people and everybody was talking to each other, but we all had our masks on, of course, and keeping our distance. And there was something that kept drawing me to want to be like closer to these people. I didn't know them, but I just kept wanting to like move really close to them. And I think it was just that lack of connection to the
Yes.
world. And I wanted to feel connected even to that person that I didn't know. And it was just strange. All of it was just so surreal. I feel like I was stepping outside myself, looking at myself, watching myself going, what are you doing there?
Yeah. I had a friend actually in the city that had to go to a doctor yesterday because she like thought she broke her eardrum. Doesn't matter. But she went, found a specialist, and the doctor, it was the most social interaction she had had in weeks and weeks. And the doctor didn't touch her, but she felt like she was among the living, getting out there. And I've been making excuses to go to this big grocery store that's about a half an hour away once a week, wearing a mask, wearing gloves, literally to just be among people. That's it. And I don't know. It's just so we're all in our little mind warp. And then I have other days where I feel like, gosh, I'm not doing anything to help people on the front line. And what am I, you know, how can, for me, it's so important to be of service. And how can I be of service right now? I wish I was a surgeon or an EMT. And then I have to remember, like, there are other ways.
Well, I love to see you in your hat, and so I don't know, right? It was probably, I don't know, a month. No, maybe it was 2 months, 3 months ago. Whatever. Remember I was going to register for the National Speaker
Yeah.
Association meeting. It was going to be my first one attending, and all of a sudden, I'm like, what? There's Claude as the keynote. Wait a second.
Without a
So
hat.
hopefully that still happens. I'm still betting, like I'm still like, because I have stuff too in the summer and
Yeah.
in October, but hopefully everything still holds so we can see you
The week.
perform on the
Yeah.
stage in
Yeah.
August.
Yeah, I won't have the hat on, but that's fine. The normal, everyone, you see everyone in their kind of normal garb. I mean, yeah, this is me.
I love it. Yeah. Well, being like super comfortable. Oh yeah. Me, I'm like in the ugliest sweatpants and I can't even tell you when I'm in my total comfort zone, but I still have I can't really show anybody because I don't think I get my leg up that high because I'm too old now, but I have some Keds on and I'm like super comfortable from my waist down, jeans and
Great.
Keds. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so how did that look for you? Because you obviously you picked up a lot of your speaking and stuff. And so did you notice that just all of the speaking events just went like, it
Yeah.
just went away up until a certain point?
Yeah, I think it started with South by Southwest was the first one to go. That was my next one, and that went. And then a couple of them have gone virtual. So the one I was going to be in Arizona with next week, I think it's Trainual. It'll be virtual. Then there's one I was going to be in San Francisco with. That'll be virtual.
Oh, good.
In Cyprus, that won't be virtual. I was looking forward to going to Cyprus in May. But yes, so much has been postponed now until the fall. So I have a feeling, if everything gets better,
Yeah.
I think October, November will be pretty full on. Yeah. And I mean, my work is still work. It's still, it is incredibly full on. The conversations are a little bit different now that the climate has changed. We're a creative advertising agency. And so advertising, the world of advertising is in a massive transformation right now. And you can see that even in your TV ads in terms of TV ads starting to now talk about we're all in this together. You're not really seeing people in the restaurants on TV ads. You're seeing ads for McDonald's where they talk about drive up and how people are, sanitary and all of that stuff. So, and really just really helping our people adjust to this new normal. The word I've been using is those first 3 weeks were really triage, and we really were like all hands on deck and really just trying to give people what they needed and help them if they needed more Wi-Fi or this and that, and putting out protocols and guidelines as quickly as we could for what it's like to work at home and how to lead from home and all of this stuff. And now we're very much like sliding into, okay, this is normal. We will come out transformed. And so we're just in the beginning stages of, it's almost like, it's like a metamorphosis, like a cocoon to a butterfly, quite frankly.
I wonder, I'm wondering, what this is going to, we all are wondering, none of us knows. Like we can all have kind of this crystal ball and anticipate. Obviously I think all of us have seen how much we need each other. So that's the thing. I think that was a huge awakening. It is a huge awakening for all of us. Every single one of us, we need each other extendedly, not even just like close friends and family, but just the world around us. It's crazy, isn't it? That almost magnetic force that now that we don't have one another, how it's pulling on us like that, So that's I think that will be the thing. I hope that outlasts this thing that's happening right now.
Well, let's do our part to make sure that it does. For all of us that are committed to humanity and committed to connection and committed to creating community. I think it's so much of it is on us, and I don't mean a burden. I mean to be the shepherds and Sherpas of the change for the better. And I believe in all of us that we can do that. And now is the time to do the push. I mean, like us connecting here is massive because this is just what I'm talking about. It's about the connection, and we are wired to be in community. And LinkedIn is a wonderful community where you and I have met, and there are other communities out there that that need energy.
I'm reading some of these comments. So one of them was from Trent. Hello there, Trent. It's been forever since I've seen you, Trent Silver. I'm in the hospitality, and I am in hospitality. Unfortunately, still working. Connecting with people is in my DNA. I still get to connect with people and also go to the store for the family. It's odd, but I still find things kind of normal. That said, I miss many of my team members, and I know they want to work for the pay, but also the family environment we have here. It's interesting, that connection. Let's see, Laura. Hello there. Love the chat with both of us. Melissa Hughes said, hello, rock stars.
Hello, hello.
Bill Mathias, agree with, we must make an intentional choice to continue the human aspect. Yeah. And I agree. I do agree. I think one of the things I just did recently, so all this it was all strange because I decided to make a shift in how I kind of presented my business. And I decided to create a whole other website. You're going to laugh at this. Focus mostly on speaking and training, all the things that you would do normally in person. So that's how it was set up. Right. Thinking this through, like, okay, I want to keep this side separate from this side. And let me have these two different things. And then a lot of my speaking things went away, like you said, and I have the fall stuff and I don't know about the others. And like you too, I was super close to I was actually about to go to Hawaii, and I've never been to Hawaii before. And so I was going to go to Hawaii, and it was going to be my husband and I. We both had our anniversary coming up, and so I was so close because they were going to pay for him to come.
Oh my God.
And it was like, and then
Yeah.
it didn't happen. So they're like, oh, and I'm like, well, we can do it another time. Like I'm trying to postpone to put it off to still have it. But anyway, thinking about this whole other separate side of me, I realize that everything that I've been talking about, and I think you talk about it, and a lot of us do, it's about being intentional. It's not about being accidental or sitting and waiting for things or whatever it is. It's just like continuing to like move forward in this real human focused, other centered connectedness way. And maybe we just like maybe we're only what I'm hoping isn't happening is that we're only speaking to one another. So that it's like all of us in this human-centered world talking to all of us in the human-centered world.
I love
and
it.
that the people who aren't that way
Yeah.
don't benefit. And so
Yeah.
we got to be better at that. I hope we can touch more that way.
I think that's exactly it. And that obviously is what speaking allows us, is to get to a wider audience, right? And to hopefully impact in a positive way, impact a change, or someone to think about something differently, or see, notice a distinction and an insight. I think one of the things that I've been talking a lot about is the connectivity that we have on screen, but also the step change in terms of there's a vulnerability as well, because we're now inviting each other into our homes, into the fact that this is what I look like on a weekend. I put my hair up and a hat on so I can just not deal.
You look very good though.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
And then the different socioeconomics of people's houses, or the fact that you might see different artwork and all of a sudden you might think something about someone. So there's a way in which I think we have to continue to check our biases as we're on these Zooms with one another, or in large companies, because we're still leading. And so we need to keep ourselves very honest in terms of what are we bringing to this? I mean, there's intentionality, there's the change that we want to bring, but I also think we need to continue to be mindful of D&I, diversity, inclusivity, and equality on these things, because, let's face it, you're going to see things that it might surprise you. What happens if all of a sudden you're talking to someone who isn't out at work, and all of a sudden you're like, this person is really showing me a different side of themselves. Like, how will I greet that person? So I think there's an enormous amount of vulnerability and also bravery in this new world that I know you and I are, excited about. And as you just said, let's make sure we're not just speaking to one another, because that's great, but we're on the bandwagon. Let's make sure that we're spreading this energy out there so that other people can really, grab on and take flight.
And I think this idea of like, how do we show up right now in this time when we need to be considering the whole person?
Yeah.
Safe space, all those issues we talked about on the podcast a while back. It's still, now it's even more prominent, because see, one of the things that we don't talk about too is not just what their environment looks like from a physicalities perspective, but also what they're living in. Because there are plenty of people that we aren't even aware of that are living in abuse and can't get out now because they're in this stay-at-home order. So they're just, we have to really, everybody who's listening, and hopefully you spread it about to other people, that we need to be thinking about if someone's showing up, let's say on one of these calls, and they seem really agitated, or they seem down, or not speaking a lot. I feel like it's the leader's role in that moment to dig a little deeper and to see how we can support them in that moment, in that time. Because here's what I say, and I know we're locked up on this, so I'm just preaching to the choir right now. And it is how we show up right now in this, what people call crisis. I hate that word, but in this moment is what's going to determine what our people think of us and do down the road for us and our organization a year from now.
Yeah.
Like the impact is going to be long lasting.
Yeah. I mean, this is the new normal, right? And so we are either continuing who we are as leaders, or we are reinventing ourselves, or we are, completely changing course. But this right now is the moment to rise up. This right now is the moment to have that, that change of vision if needed, and to acknowledge what, empathy. You cannot not have empathy right now. This is the time. This is the time. And, there's all these articles now that are talking about empathetic leadership and things that we've been talking about from very, very long time. But now, this is where the rubber hits the road. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah, I'm into it.
So what do you think, what's next for you? Like, whenever we come out of this, is there some way that you think you will have been changed? Something that you have picked up that you will keep doing even after this, just in a new way of seeing things?
Yeah, I think that, so it's how you and I started this call, which was being more mindful and intentional about taking care of myself. Is something that is not, doesn't come easy to me and never has. And so now it is something that I'm really putting into practice, and practice is the word. I will never be an expert at certain things, but making sure that if I don't get to work out today, at least I'll stretch today. I'll do my gratitude list. So those types of things that I think are amazing, because then I'll really be walking that walk. Whereas I can tell people how to take care of themselves, ad nauseum, but I need to do that. So I think that really will only create a stronger me, which is important to me, and a more honest me. If I'm really telling you the truth, like a real more honest me inside here. And so those are things that I'm practicing right now, and I think that's going to be really helpful for whatever happens, whatever door we end up walking through. And it will continue to help my authenticity and me be authentic and transparent to larger groups of people, because I will also embody it.
And I think I know that's the thing that people are drawn to about you anyway, is that real authenticity, the transparency, just like, hey, this is who I am. Hey, I'm in a ball cap. This is what's going on right now. You may be really afraid if you were to see me without having any help this morning. I'm super scary. You have such an endearing face. I love your face.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, I think I love chatting with you. I think the connection is awesome. I love our energy. You and I have never met in person, so just like the fact that we get to do this anyway is just it's an honor. It's an honor to be in this community with you. So I just want to thank you for inviting me in, and let's do it some more.
Absolutely. And that you're going to be in this next book. I don't know if you saw the title, but it's going to be called the Art of Caring Leadership.
Love it.
How leading with heart uplifts teams and organizations. So I think you'll be proud to be in it, and I'm going to make sure I highlight you perfectly too. So for what you are,
I'm humbled. I'm humbled, and I really, I'm just giving you a huge hug, and
I'm telling you, in August. If it's happening, I'm going to be touching base and like, where are you? And I'm getting a hug that day. Don't you go on and off that stage, and I don't seem to get a hug.
I will be there. Happily.
Yeah. Well, this has been great. I know you had to have another thing you have to get to, but I appreciate you giving us this time and everybody being able to see your face. And it'll be something that'll be on YouTube and on LinkedIn. So I'll be able to share it, and you can share it.
And I'll share it. All right, great. All right.
Awesome. It was thanks seeing you. Yes. Goodbye, everybody.